We now come to the last item of the first part of this two-part evening. This is a dramatic sketch entitled From Noble to Nivedita. This sketch is composed by Swamiji Amarananda and is directed by Mrs. Pranati Ganguly. Among the actors and the cast, you would find Nirmalya as Swami Vivekananda, Marina as Sister Nivedita, and Ayesha as Mrs. Cook. The dramatic sketch From Noble to Nivedita.
From Noble to Nivedita. Sister Nivedita was born in a family of pastors in Ireland in 1867. Her pre-monastic name was Margaret Mary. Her father took part in the constitutional struggle for independence that was waged by the Catholics since 1868. By 1895, Miss Noble had become a seasoned teacher with all the knowledge of the systems of Pestalozzi and Froebel. She was also the rector of the Ruskin School at Wimbledon in England and was often invited to Lady Ripon's exclusive club, which had later attracted talents such as George Bernard Shaw. During this period of her life, Margaret met Swami Vivekananda. Later, she went to India and took monastic vows from Swamiji. She also founded a school for women in Calcutta. In 1902, Nivedita became increasingly involved in the freedom struggle of India and was very close to many freedom fighters like Aurobindo Ghosh. She was the primary influence behind the development of the Bengal School of Arts. For many years, she was the secretary to the eminent scientist Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose. She was also a prolific writer. She had a premature death in Darjeeling in 1911. Our play starts in 1895 in the drawing room of Madame Cook.
Twice. Your Free Ireland, your Sesame Club, your Ruskin School. Are you sure they are not simply attempts to hide the vacuum in your life?
I've given you a newspaper cutting regarding the rights of women. The talk I gave last weekend. Women are not just an appendage to men. I want to work for the freedom of Ireland, to bask in the radiance of art and literature. I also feel the thrill in developing talents of children.
I admire you, Margot. London has given you ample opportunities to fulfill your dreams. But would you deny that for a woman, the dream of dreams is to found her own family?
Ebony, there's a scar in my heart. Time will heal it. I think a music lessons will also help me.
I have a suggestion. Mr. Sturdy and Miss Muir have told your club of a Hindu yogi in London. They say he is a wonderful teacher and a great orator.
That is truly marvelous. But where can we see him?
Here it is. The yogi is called Swami Vivekananda. He will be there to give talks on Sunday evenings at Isabel's house in the West End.
Thank you, Ebony, for the information. I shall go see the Swami. My father's last words to my mother were, "When God gives a call to Margot, allow her to answer it."
Listen, you all, the children of immortality. Listen also those who are in the celestial sphere. I have known the Supreme Being. He is shining like the sun. He is beyond the ocean of ignorance.
How sublime is the gaze of the Swami. Raphael tried to paint it for us in the eyes of the child of the Sistine Chapel.
The time has come for nations to start exchanging their ideas, just as they are exchanging their commodities of the market. There is a great misunderstanding in the West regarding the puja of the Hindus, the idols they worship, the various divinities they adore. A divinity is nothing but a particular aspect of God, and that aspect is given a human form or a quasi-human form.
Swamiji, I've been waiting for something all these years. It seems that all my training prepared me for the unique experience of this evening in the West End.
If I have inspired you, perish. If God has inspired you, flourish. In any case, do try to attend the talk next week. All our struggles are struggles for freedom. We are heading towards neither pleasure nor pain. Freedom is our goal. It is the only goal.
Swamiji, the freedom you've just mentioned, does it include political freedom too?
All bonds need to be broken. But the greatest bond is the chain of your karma. It is India's karma that has invited the British to conquer India. It is Ireland's karma that has enslaved Ireland. Break all bonds, both internal and external, through the opposite kind of karma, says Vedanta. My message is simultaneously individual, national, and international.
All these months, I've been reading and reflecting upon the talks you gave in England. I'm very excited, but I'm not prepared to accept all that you say.
Nor did I approve my master in the beginning. I loved him. I admired him. But then, I thought he was a brain secret.
Can veneration and disagreement go hand in hand? They are contradictory attitudes.
As in science, so in religion. You must observe and analyze. You must practice the spiritual disciplines. With body and mind fortified, one progresses along the spiritual path, and the truth appears in flashes. Just having faith in the faith would make man a jellyfish.
You have visited Max Muller at Oxford. What did you think of him?
He reminds me of the ancient Brahmarshis of India. He proposes to write a biography of Sri Ramakrishna.
Swamiji, what is the overall result of your visit to the continental Europe?
In the Swiss Alps, I came up with the idea of establishing a center in the Himalayas where my Western and Indian disciples can live together. The ways of worship are like walls, separating man from one another. This single center will be a place for advancing in the path of jnana. No external worship, not even a flower in front of a photo.
And who is going to make this idea a reality?
The saviors have promised to lay down their lives for this project. The Divine Mother is the rest.
They say that you have spent many days with Professor Duysen from Kiels, via Amsterdam to London. What is your impression?
Great is his grasp of the Vedanta texts. But no true knowledge of Vedanta can be acquired simply through learning. You must also have renunciation, at least the capacity to comprehend the higher values. Don't you agree, Marco?
I'm not competent to say anything about it. But what attracts me is that you live what you preach.
What have I preached?
Your I am the God is something which was always known, but never expressed before. Without your help, many sincere Westerners would have been at a loss, unable to sort the wheat from the chaff of religious doctrines. June 1897, lecture Swamiji, I have reflected at length about my destiny. I have decided to devote my life to your work in India. My only hesitation is due to the fact that I don't know whether you will agree with this idea and whether Indians will accept Amen Sahib as one of them. My mother will not object to my settling in the East. Do you think that my idea is utopian? And above all, will Sarada Devi, the consort of Sri Ramakrishna, accept me as her daughter? With obeisance to you, your Margot.
Dear Margot, what is urgently needed here is not a man, but a woman, a lioness who will work for Indians, above all for women. At the moment, India cannot produce women of great character. She must borrow them from other nations. Your education, your sincerity, your purity, your great love, your determination, and above all, the Celtic blood running in your veins makes you exactly the woman needed. But there will be many difficulties. You have no idea of the misery, the slavery which you will find here. And the climate is always very hot. In the south, the heat is always torrid. Outside the cities, it is impossible to find European comfort. Think well before you jump. However, if you fail, or if you become bored, I shall stand by you unto my death. Whether you work for India or not, whether you abandon Vedanta or remain faithful to it. With all love, Vivekananda.
25th March, 1898. The Provisional Monastery at Bellur.
The mother's heart, the hero's will, the sweetness of the southern breeze, with sacred charm and strength that dwell on Aryan altar, flaming free. All these be yours, and many more. No ancient soul could dream before. Be thou to India's future son, the mistress, servant, friend in one. From today, I shall call you Nivedita, the consecrated. Take that seat, and I shall teach you to do puja to Shiva, the Lord of the people of renunciation. We worship Shiva, the fragrant god, the giver of sustenance. The melon automatically bursts forth. Likewise, let us make free from the bondage of death, not from immortality.